I used to have really low self-esteem. And I used to be so insecure that I couldn't go for things that I wanted. I could see the things that I wanted. I would want them, and then I would be too scared to go for anything. So I would just suffer and let it go by and not go for it. And I lived like that for a long time until I didn't want to live like that anymore. And, why can't I just be confident? I want to be confident, just show up and be confident, just be like that. And there's no way that I could ever become confident unless I really worked on my low self-esteem. And I thought I kind of had some self-esteem after I got rid of the booze. But then when I got to another program, I really found out like the ins and outs of really like the stuff about low self-esteem. And, today I'm not waiting for that permission and that approval if the other party likes it or not. I don't need everyone to agree with me. I can make decisions and go for my life the way that I want to because I just want to. So I can just make that decision for me now and confidently. I believe that developing my low self-esteem to a higher self-esteem gives me the byproduct of confidence. Confidence in choosing my life, making my decisions, and being completely fine with the choices that I'm making just because I wanted to do it, because I like it, because I want it that way, because I need that boundary, because this is what it's like for me. And I used to put too many other things before me, and I used to put myself second. And I'm putting myself first in a lot more situations than living the life in the back row waiting. Like that waiting never turned out good for me. And I don't believe that it works. The low self-esteem is a place where I would feel really insecure and like stuck. And I didn't like feeling like so scared and insecure all the time and stuck and not being able to get things that I wanted and being so jealous, seeing other people just live their life and go for things they wanted. So to work on my low self-esteem and really, really raise that up, for one, I really wanted to improve my self-esteem. I went to a program to really focus on that. I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore. So I had that driver of really wanting to change. So I think if someone wants to be confident, unless you really want to, it's going to be really hard to go for that. Because I think for me, like having that desire has really kept me pushing because I'm not done until I get there. And this is like a few years working on this stuff. So, and I still feel like that. Like I feel more confident today and I feel like I could be more confident. So to me, my mindset still hasn't changed since I first started working on trying to build my low self-esteem to high self-esteem. So the journey continues. I'm building my self-esteem to high self-esteem. And as I grow, the peace and freedom that I have with making my choices are fearless today. Most of the choices that I make are fearless. But before, I was so indecisive. I asked what your thoughts were on things all the time. I needed people to join me. I needed so much more people with me on the things that I wanted to do to feel secure. And now I just sort of sit with myself and I can make those choices without fear, without debilitating fear. And there are some times when I do talk to people about certain choices, but I did not really make too many choices on my own before. And I was very scared to make them. Like I made a lot of choices through that fear in the beginning. And that's really how I've been working on my self-esteem, is by pushing through that fear and having that courage and just continuing to push through things that are so scary and one little scary thing after another. And it does mean I work through people's disapproval, people's reactions, people getting angry, people upset with my boundaries. Building my self-esteem has been boundary work. It's been getting healthier priorities and like figuring out what my priorities are and then sticking to them because those are now my priorities and my boundaries are my boundaries. And figuring out my needs and wants, right? I couldn't even tell a difference between those before. That's huge work right there to figure that stuff out. And then, so now that I am figuring out those things, it's just sort of, well, if this is my boundary, if this is my need, if this is my want, if this is my priority, like that, all those things that I've built in my mind, like if anything happens in my life and I run it through that, then that's all I need to be okay with it or not. So if it's like crossing my boundary or if it's like something's out of place and this isn't the right priority right now, like I can always fall on these things that I now know and have listened to and have deemed important in my life. Like my needs are important in my life now. My wants are important. My boundaries are important. Like, so to me, because I'm starting to value myself, I follow on those things. Like if it's going across my boundary, then it's a no, right? It's not going to work for me, or there needs to be something else, right? But before I would just, I would just have these like floppy boundaries, and I'd let my priorities be mixed up, just dependent on the day, the person, or the situation, like very scattery. But then I couldn't really make a lot of concrete decisions for myself and feel strong in myself when I didn't have that inner plan, that those strong boundaries and priorities in place. I didn't have anything to fall on because for me that I was letting them change all the time. So building my self-esteem, just for instance, starting things, like really starting things and then hanging on to what I started and trying to finish. If I'm having trouble with starting and finishing something, that's because I got a low self-esteem issue. And for an example, like I'll bring up the working out stuff. I had such a, my entire life I've always struggled with working out, and like I could do it for like 2-3 months and then I always fall off. And the thing is that because I'm working on this self-esteem stuff, I'm like, I really want, I figured out my need. Like one of my needs was just like really that I need exercise. And so to help with my self-esteem also, I was like, I've had to do so much research and listening to myself on what I really need, want, boundaries, like all that work helps me set up the rules that I need for my life. And so I always would fall off the horse with the working out. And some of the things that have just helped me stay on is I decided that I was going to keep going and that I wasn't going to quit. And I decided I'm just going to go for 6 months or more, even if I don't get any results. I'm just going to keep going and just be consistent. So I made this commitment with myself that I would do that. I was very, very discouraged at the beginning because I would see myself in the mirror and I was so embarrassed and like it felt so overwhelming. I'm like, I'm so big. I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to get there. Like, what am I thinking? What am I trying? Like, it's so hard to start when you just already feel like you're going to fail. Like I just already felt like, what's the point? Like, I'm never going to get there. And that's like bad self-tape thinking right there. So what I started to do is I did start. I started to do my working out. I started to just do a very little amount at a time, but I was consistent. And you know what I started to do? I started noticing that negative tape playing in my head. So I put a piece of paper in front of my treadmill and I literally wrote down something different I could say to my head that would help motivate me to continue on my journey with working out. And so I wrote down just little like quotes to trick my mind that like, it's going to work. It's worth it. Go until you see results. You know, I just took little things that I was discouraged about and, you know, like just keep going or it's going to work. Because I'd often get on there and be like, this is just pointless. It's not going to work. So I had to write it down and be like, it's going to work. It's going to work. And so I don't feel as hesitant or awful when I get on the treadmill now because I see all of the little quotes that I wrote to myself and I see them right where I'm going to work out. Another thing I do is I track my progress, but I put that calendar right in front of my treadmill. So I literally mark off all my workouts and I can see what I've done for the month and for the week. And so instead of just being like really like, oh, I didn't miss yesterday, I can pretty much just look at the 7 days that I have this week and I can, like my goal is like 2 or 3 workouts a week. So I just have to have a quick glance and I see that, oh, I did that many, like I did my 2 or more, you know? And so I find just seeing my progress like right in front of my face totally helps me with staying on track. Because it's almost like I don't want to see the calendar go empty. It's almost like, well, look, I've already been going. I've already been doing a week or 2. You know, I'm committed to this. This is what I do. I'm doing this now. And it's motivating to want to add another day and to add another workout. And that's just like another way to help me be successful in trying to start and finish this thing that I really need exercise and I really want the results of all that exercise. Like I want to be strong and healthy and look good and feel good, but I need to do it. And because I want it, like I want this and I've made that commitment. And so and having all my like workout gear and equipment like set up right on it also helps build that commitment that I'm invested in doing this for me. And it just takes it takes a lot of the pressure off. So I'm left with less and less things that are going to make me stop and more things that encourage me to keep going. Like little things. It's almost like I'm becoming a really good friend, and I'm almost like with myself going, well, look what I did. I set those things up for myself, and look at my progress. Look at my progress, and look at my quotes. Like it's almost like I'm being like there's another person here with me on my workout journey, and like trying to start things and finish things and work on this self-esteem. It's just like comes with so many little micro steps I find. And I have to use a lot of micro steps because I don't have a lot of time. And so I'm constantly trying to be creative and how I'm going to make everything work all the time. So with my life being so busy and my hands always being full, I just find I'm like, I don't think it's over and never going to happen. I just think how. And, sometimes because I don't always get the best sleep, or maybe my body's too tired from a workout or a long walk or whatever, like I just can't make it happen. Instead of going, I can't, or I'm going to cancel my workout, or I didn't make it, 2 things I do is I don't cancel. I keep my mind on track that I'm still going to be working out. So say I get to the point where I'm not going to be able to get down there and do it. I will just say like in a very committed way, like I'm going to do it tomorrow. And if I lose another day or I don't have the energy to do it on the treadmill, I am going to go for like a super long walk. Like I just kind of make myself still do the thing, even if it's not the result that I want. Because sometimes I'm like, I didn't get a really, really good workout in today and I don't have a lot of time to do that really good workout. Like sometimes my expectation is pretty high and strong. So what I do is I just go, I still have to do something I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something. Like I still am like committed to the time. I'm still committed to the task. Even if I didn't get the workout that I really wanted that day. So, and I find that really helps me with my consistency. So building my self-esteem, like this is one of my stories just on all the little things I do to help me progress by staying consistent so that I finish this thing that I committed to. Because I want to have high self-esteem, but I need to be dependable on myself. And that means that when I start, I start. And when I finish. And then I have to do everything I can to start and then make myself get all the way to the finish line. So sometimes, this is the second thing, say the baby's crying. And I'm like, okay, I got like 5 minutes before I got to go up there. I just started my sprints. Or I think that he's stirring. I literally, just to stay on track, like I will make sure that I'm just going to go down there and I'm going to do 4. And then I'm going to go up and check tomorrow. And then I'm going to do 6. Or I'll just do 2 more. Like sometimes the goal gets shrunken. Like I try to go to 10, but sometimes if something's interrupting me, I can at least get 4 in. Like even if that's just like 10 minutes, it's still reinforces my commitment to my exercising, because my exercising is something I need. And I need to give myself the things I need if I want to have high self-esteem, if I want to be a confident person. I really have to like make things work for myself. And like this stuff compounds on top of itself. Like it's just, even though I might not get the 10 out of 10, I might get 4, it's still empowering that I went down there and did it and did something. And then sometimes I'll just say I'll go back down later for like a few more. Like that all this self-talk and self-encouragement and being nice to myself, and then just continually always trying to get back on track every single day. Like even if I lose a day, another day, maybe I lose 5 days, and then I'm like, well, it's been too long now. Like I get down on myself. But even after like 5 or 6 days, like my workout is like way harder. So it's still kind of like a good workout. And I still get back on track faster by still getting back in there that week. So I just keep trying, like keep going back to it. Like I have to keep doing it and doing that with lots of things. So I just start and I keep my goals small and I stay continuous, and it's okay if I just like go for a walk sometimes. And I've been closer to achieving this goal more than all the other times that I've tried. And really starting things, like sometimes I can overthink and I cannot start. But there's so much information that comes from starting. And I learn more, my brain just like opens up once I start something. Like instead of, well, how are we going to, get this to there and da da da. Like it's like let's just move it to here. And then let's just see what that looks like. And then let's just move it to there and then see what that looks like. And almost every time that I've done that, where I'm just going to start and see. Then the next step is always revealed to me. And most all times I've been able to get it all the way done like that, like I wanted to get it done. So I'm so grateful for being able to move on with this stuff. And it's just been like small steps. And this is just one way that I build my self-esteem and get the things that I need. This is just one way. So yeah. yeah, I hope that helps.